Hello, I'm David Chaston with 989, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, including news of big job gains in America. From data out on Saturday morning, US employment levels improved substantially more than markets were expecting in February. In fact, the American unemployment rate fell to its lowest level in 7 years and will encourage the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates, probably in June, on a path back to normal. This data had an electric impact on both the bond and currency markets, raising yields and the US dollar sharply. Stock markets dropped, fearing the coming rate hike. Another taper tantrum? Perhaps missed in the surprise was that wage growth was not as strong as first thought in earlier surveys, although the jump in hours worked, and therefore take-home pay, was the largest since 1998. In Europe, Greece sent its Eurozone partners an expanded list of its proposed reforms over the weekend, but both the EU and ECB officials tightened their stance of more funding for the embattled country. In China, data out over the weekend showed that their exports jumped 48% in February from a year earlier, the strongest in nearly 5 years and comfortably beating market expectations, while imports slipped 20% on lower oil costs. That produced a record trade surplus of $61 billion for the month. The jump in exports is because of rising demand from the US. A growing American economy is probably the only thing that can turn around China's slowing growth. The US 10-year yields raced higher in New York after the non-farm payrolls report to 2.25%. That's 13 basis points gain in 1 day. Interest rate markets now seem convinced the Fed will raise rates by mid-year. New Zealand swap rates will probably respond today. Maybe mortgage rates are now as low as we're going to see them in this cycle. Interestingly, CDS spreads for investment-grade Australasian corporate bonds, essentially the risk premium local banks pay for their debt, fell to their lowest level since January 2008 at 69 basis points on Friday. In March 2009, they reached a record 442 basis points. The crude oil price also fell on Friday and is now under $50 a barrel, and the Brent crude price is now under $60 a barrel. US rig counts fell again last week but rose internationally. The gold price fell even harder and starts the week at $1,164, down more than $35 an ounce. New Zealand dollar starts today substantially lower against a surging dollar at 73.6 US cents. That's down 2.5 cents from Thursday. At 95.2 Aussie cents, and the TWI is down to 78.2. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.